Hi again. Now we're into the innovation part of the Talk for Writing Tango Tasters. We're going to be looking at things with less of a specific title, but more of a way you can approach the innovative practice. This part, by the Pi Colbert's suggestion, is to provide a range of toy animals, puppets, masks or story cards to choose from so that other animals can travel and build their house within the sheep and the goat story. So I'm calling this just simply other animals for this video, and the way I'm doing that is to use a thinking circle. So if we want to think about how the wolves might have been seeming quite scary, we want to replace them with a different animal so that the learners consider different words to apply to those animals or different creatures. I need to have a way to look at what would be the most appropriate way to do that. So on my next page, what I've done is I've created a series of circles to give it a kind of a dartboard look. What I've done that is to go to shapes and text, grab a circle and effectively just bring in a circle, as you can see there, and I've started layering them on top of each other. You could also do this by making a dartboard type PNG or JPEG image in advance and placing it on the background, but the way I've done it here means that there's no white background to it, it's just the dartboard. The animal I'm going to consider is actually a character rather than animal, so content, file, and I've already searched for Fungus the Bogeyman. So I'm bringing in Raymond Briggs Fungus the Bogeyman as a PNG so that when I bring the image across I can place it however big I like it to be, but I'm going to place it right in the middle of our dartboard. And it'd just be question answer, what do we see? You know, what can we think about Fungus in terms of his appearance, in terms of his demeanour and so on. So for now, back out here again so we get a decent sized image. I can also press and hold and duplicate, and in doing so it will get me another option to put one there at the same time. And I just want to write some words down. So I get the feeling the first thing that one of the learners may notice about Fungus is that he's green. Now, whether we feel that that's a really fundamental part of the character depends on where we then place it along the dartboard. So being green, I'd say, yeah, we can probably get a bit of mileage out of that with our words. So I'm going to write it here for now. But if anyone decides that that's not something they want to be placed closer, they find some better words like smelly, they imagine him, or oily or something, we can start moving this around because, again, the joy of Tango means that once you've written something, you can move it about. You don't also need to write it small because trying to write it small can be quite difficult. Write it big and then just make it small. And then we can place it within a certain part of the dartboard. So smelly and green might be equally important to the learners, but therefore making it be in the green area here. But they might decide that actually, yeah, that probably just has the edge over it, so we make it as small as we can and then start placing it closer and closer to the middle. And by the end of it, we have a whole range of different words approaching what would be a good description of Fungus. We can then start looking at it, well, how have we said it? Are we talking about nouns? Are we talking about adjectives? Are we talking about, and so on, yeah? We could then, having taken a snapshot of this entire page, like so, going to screen capture and pressing capture, that gives us our working reflection. So we can say this is what we did at this time by tapping this button up at the top here, the annotation button, and I can say this was the class's work at whatever time that was. I then press and hold and I can export that, press straight in there, I can export that to the desktop so that I've got that proof for later. Now that I've got that, I can get rid of it and I can start moving these around into things like whether I put adjectives up here and nouns up there and so on and so forth, so that we can start taking the words we've developed here and place it back into the structure that we've developed in the previous imitation videos.